really had no problems coming to Germany. Darren fought Sergio Martinez in Atlantic City, gave him a great fight, fought Daniel Gill in America and won the title there. So he has no problems coming to Germany. Obviously, you know, the pressure was on us to make the fight in the UK, but we fully respect you know, the IBF, and also, you know, we put our trust implicitly in that organisation and also in the integrity of Ufa and Felix Sturm. So, you know, we're pleased to be here. We think it's a great fight. Like Tony said, Matthew Macklin and Martin Murray have come and failed, and we come to win. We expect to win, and we expect a great fight. And you know, Felix Sturm is the mandatory challenger, but even if he wasn't the mandatory challenger, you know, we'd be more than willing to fight Felix Sturm anyway, because it's a wonderful fight. So we look forward to welcoming everybody in London tomorrow and to return here in December for a great fight. Thank you.
Excited to be here, honoured to be here, proud to be here, standing here as champion, and looking forward to facing Felix. You know, he was a great champion, but this, you know, this is my time. I'm looking forward to having a long reign as world champion. Looking forward to a good, exciting fight. You know, like Eddie said, Felix is our mandatory, but even if he wasn't, I think I would have liked to have fought him anyway. As he said, you know, two of our guys back home, Murray and Macklin, had two, you know, good fights for Felix, but they didn't win, and I want to get one over them, and I want to beat Felix, who's a former great champion. And this, you know, aside from the deal being great, this is about securing my legacy as one of Britain's top fighters, and you know, coming to Germany and beating Felix certainly secures that. You know, I'm not afraid of travelling for the best pound-for-pound middleweight in the world. In Atlantic City, I won the title in Atlantic City against Daniel Gill. And aside from that, you know, I travelled the world as an amateur, fighting in some real hostile countries, and you know, I'm not afraid to travel. I'm confident in my own ability, and you know I have what it takes to beat Felix. But the fans are in for a great fight. You know, with two top fighters, and we're all entertainment, and you know, fight night's going to be entertaining, so don't miss it. Thank you.
You know, it's a fight I would have liked to have taken anyway, even before I become world champion, because, you know, obviously the obvious two, Macklin and Murray, fought him, and they come up a bit short. I want to get one over them as well. You know, something, you know, there's been an ongoing battle in the country. As much as I respect both of them, and you know, I get on with them personally, we all want to prove we're number one. I think I proved that winning the world title, but also beating Felix is probably the next best thing other than fighting them, you know, beating him.
I said in the press conference that he would have been probably our voluntary choice as well, and it's quite unusual that happens. The mandatory is generally a challenger that, you know, is less lucrative, or one that you really want to avoid. But obviously with the link up with Martin Murray and Matthew Macklin, two fighters that have faced Sturm before and failed to beat him, it was always a great option for us. And you know, we always knew that financially we'd be considerably better off coming to Germany, but it was always our intention to hold the fight in the UK. As the purse bid approached and we weren't able to make the necessary deal in time, you know, we knew and heard that Felix was looking at some other options, and it wasn't a fight that we wanted to lose. You know, we looked down the other options for our mandatory, and they were far less lucrative. They weren't the legacy fights that I call them, that I'd like Darren to be in, and fights that I know Darren would be up for. And you know, when we were able to introduce other things into the deal, like the neutral officials, like the rematch fight in London, you know, everything started to come together. Financially, you know, it's a life-changing opportunity for Darren Barker, but you know, whilst I wouldn't stand here and say it's all about the money, there were other things attached that made it the right choice. And people have to remember that this is a job as well. It's the hardest way to make a living in sport, in my opinion. So you do have to be rewarded financially. And when you look at the places he's been, he had no qualms. We sat down, I outlined the deal to him and Tony, and they snapped it with both hands. So we're happy. And I think to create a legacy, it's not about staying at home and fighting at home. It's very nice to do that, but I just feel that to fight Martinez, give him a great fight, to beat Gil in America, to beat Sturm in Germany, that's going to really, be something to talk about, either after the Sturm fight or even when all's said and done.
He's a great champion at the moment, and he has not experience like I have. He has not experienced what I have with championships. I have more than 20 championship fights, and now it's my 13 years as a pro, and I think that will be the big difference. I know there will come many fans from the UK over here to watch the fight, but I know for me it's important what happened in the ring. No matter my fans, Darren Barker's fans, it's just important is what happened in the ring, and very, very important is who had the better game plan.
Obviously, financially and with the rematch clause that we're not going to need anyway. But it goes back to that legacy as well. I'm not afraid to travel. I fought the best in the world in Atlantic City. I won the title in Atlantic City. Like I said there, I travelled the world to some real hostile countries as an amateur, fighting real tough crowds. And I'm not afraid to travel. And, it does fast track my legacy, if you like, as being one of Britain's top middleweights of all time by beating Felix out here. So, travelling doesn't bother me one bit. It all made sense.
I'm now 34. With 34 in football, you're an old man, but I think between 30 and 38, 39, you're at the moment in the best age. I'm very, very strong. I'm stronger than with 30. I'm stronger than with 32. And but for me, the most important was experience and to learn from my mistakes. And I learned from my mistakes. I know I'm a big guy for a middleweight. I'm a strong guy for a middleweight, and it's very difficult to take me under pressure in the fight. I know I can beat every guy in 160 pounds, and I learned from my mistakes. I'm now very, very confident. I know what I have to do against Darren Barker, and I'm confident that I will beat Darren Barker clearly.
I think because of his engine, because of the fact that he's over his injuries now. You saw in a Gil fight his engine was phenomenal, and because of his movement, I mean he's very clever. He can adapt to the opponent. With Gil, he decided to fight him and to trade and stand and trade. With Sturm, I just think he'll box him and he'll pick him apart. And I think, like you say, he'll start fast and he'll finish fast. He's fresh. I can't see Sturm beating Darren Barker. I really can't, and that's ultimately one of the decisions why we're here, because we believe so strongly that we'll get the win.
Yeah, we are both very offensive, and we are looking for a knockout. I'll knock my last opponent out. He beats Daniel Gil by points, but the two guys before he knocked out, and hopefully it will be a knockout, because this is clearest decision. There will be no talk after the fight, and I don't believe that this fight will be a close fight. I think this fight will be, if he goes to the point, it will be a clear win, and but hopefully it will be a knockout for me or for him, because this is a clear decision.
I think there's going to be a big travelling support in this fight for Barker. I would think we'll take over 1,000 tickets. So therefore we'd like to bring some matchroom fighters on if Carsten and Felix allow it and if there's space. So we've got a lot of shows ourselves coming up as well, where they're all in action. So whether it's a Joshua or a Campbell or a Callum Smith, or it'd be nice to get some of them involved.
I mean, Barnet's going to be a quiet place on the 7th of December. Lots and lots of people have booked up, sending me messages and tweets of their flight confirmation, and I'm proud to have such a good supporters follow me all around the world. And you'll hear them. Don't worry about that. They'll be in full voice.